Hello my friends, how you doing? It's your friend Phil here, project management trainer and coach. I hope you've been having a great week. This is nothing but a reminder, folks. Savage on Saturday is tomorrow. We've got quite a lineup. We've got people who have slain the exam. And these folks are going to be sharing with you how they did it. So I advise you, if you've not joined the Savage on Saturday group, definitely want to do it, folks. Go to savageonsaturday.com. Why do we call it Savage on Saturday? Because while everyone's still napping and stretching their legs in bed, we're up, we're killing it, we're slaying it, we're bringing it. We're putting the PMBOK guide into a chokehold. We're killing it to the max, folks. Saturdays are days that can be used to your advantage. They can be used for you to slam the PMBOK guide. Think about it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What's happening with you all through the week? You're busy. You're busy working. You don't have time to kill the book like you really want to. I'm not saying you shouldn't put in some time, but it gets busy. Weekdays are a beast. Weekdays can be a killer. And that's why you need to think about how to counteract that. See? And the way to counteract it is weekends. Go crazy on weekends, folks. So Saturday, Savage on Saturday. We're going to be savage. We're going to be wild. We're going to bring it tomorrow. We've got quite a lineup. We've got Mauricio. He's going to be sharing with us how he killed the exam. After that, we've got Kaushik, who's going to be sharing with us how he killed the exam. And then we've got Jude Nelson, who's going to be sharing how he killed the exam. And then we've got Amjid, who is going to be dropping his version of how he killed the exam. And it's a power-packed group with all sorts of great PMPs that are going to help you get certified. So I'm not sure what you're waiting for, but if you haven't joined the group, or if you've made an attempt to join and you're not yet in the group, maybe you didn't fill in the information properly. Take a look, answer the questions, join the group. If you want to get certified on the 5th, we're killing it, we're bringing it. We're loading up on ammo. Join the group. I'm dropping gold every now and again. We've got questions on the spot, questions of the day, where students can test out their ammo on questions, just like that. So join the group, all right? If you are a PMP and you want to add value to people, join the group. Join it as well, okay? But fill in the information and you'll learn how to join the group and how to join these meetings, because we stopped having these meetings on YouTube for a reason. You know, it's unfortunate we had to, but it was very distracting. The poor students who came to study and learn, they only ended up being distracted with ridiculous spam, people sending all kinds of crazy messages, and I mean really crazy, and offensive messages in the middle of the meeting about telling them to go to all sorts of crazy places to buy what they didn't need. So we had to cut it out of YouTube. YouTube was really distracting, and a lot of times we couldn't stream properly because there seemed to be hiccups with the YouTube streaming. So we moved to a system offline where we can interact. You still have the video, the audio. Better still, we've got the whiteboard where we can collaborate and see things on the whiteboard virtually. And we've also got the emoticons for people to express how they feel. So we went off YouTube, you know, for less distraction. And we had some ridiculous folks who had no business being there, whether they were spies or whether they're just haters, people that don't like the PMP. And I keep saying shame on you if you're watching the video, just because you're not a PMP, or you feel that the PMP is a waste of time, and you start downgrading the videos, you're just stupid. You're wasting your time, because we're bringing it. We're killing it. We're choking it. And we don't care whether you think the PMP and the PMBOK guide are fairy tales and are stupid. We don't care. We don't care what you have to say. We care about what we think, which is this adds value. So you can keep watching the videos and hating and wasting your time. but you're not wasting ours. So please stay away from the group. Don't even join. Because the moment we find you, we're going to flush you out like the pest you are. All right? You know who you are. You're wasting your time. All right? So if you don't think the PMI or the PMP or the PMBOK guide are worth any consideration whatsoever, go get a life. Do something else. But the 1 million people, that's right, it's going to a million. A million people can't be stupid, but a few people are, right? Because a few people are hating on the PMI. Why hate on the PMI? I remember the first time I picked up the PMBOK guide, and I'm like, they could write this thing better. You know, they could. That's not a reason to hate on the PMI. That's not a reason to hate on an organization because they did a trashy job, in your opinion, of writing a standard. You can't hate on the PMI, and you can't hate on the million people that are in the organization. I just laugh. It's ridiculous. I don't know how many of you folks have read on social media people saying that the PMI is stupid, the organization shouldn't even exist, it's a fairy tale, it's a farce. And we've got other people that are hopping off the bus and joining other organizations of project management. It's ridiculous. So don't deceive yourself. Since 1969, the 5 people who decided to make a change, they didn't do it for nothing. They didn't do it because they wanted to make money. They did it to make a difference. And if you think that the PMBOK guide, right, the people in the PMI are stupid, then you're the person who is. Because these are quality people. Quality people who have put their time and energy on the line. Right? Eric Jenner isn't even with us anymore. He spent his life trying to make sure that project management was upped in the world. And his dream has come to pass because we're seeing it. Companies that had no clue how to manage projects, companies that had no idea about what project management is, they now know. Companies that had no idea how to structure processes and procedures, they now know. So for you to come on YouTube or Facebook and start hating on the PMI and the PMBOK guide and laughing at PMPs and saying they're stupid, you know, I've had so many people tell me, oh, I've got a bunch of these clowns who call themselves PMPs in my firm, and they're no good, and I can manage projects better than them. Well, you've got bad doctors and bad engineers, but that doesn't mean you're not going to study to be an engineer. That doesn't mean that you're not going to study for a particular vocation. So when I see these people getting mad that project management is being made professional and people are spending their time and efforts to get certified, I just laugh. So take your hate elsewhere. And if you want to waste time hating on the PMI and the PMBOK guide and the people training people to get certified, just laugh at you. So anyway, we're off YouTube for the most part when it comes to Savage on Saturdays, and that's why. Alright, so 1 million people in the world, including those folks who have decided to become PGMPs or RMPs or SPs, they're not stupid. They want to improve on their project management. Can you imagine a particular firm said, I really don't think people need to be trained in project management. You should know project management by osmosis. You should know project management based on your experience. Can you imagine such nonsense? They expect you to wake up and just by osmosis looking at people around you managing projects, they expect you to be trained as a project manager. What are you on? What are you smoking? That's what I should have asked that person. What are you smoking? People need training. You know, there are a lot of weak-willed executives who say, oh, I don't want to spend money on training these folks because what happens if they leave? Well, what happens if you've got Humpty Dumpty sitting down being a clown on your projects? Yeah? What if you have Humpty Dumpty sitting on the wall and making a mess, or the yogurt and bananas hit the fan and everyone's scrambling for cover because you didn't send them for training. I'm not even talking about getting certified. I'm not even talking about being a PMP. Just having the knowledge of what exactly you're doing. You know why people run projects or why people run programs? It's to affect the bottom line, folks. The bottom line. It's to make sure the organization doesn't tank. A lot of people look at projects as, oh, we've got some money, let's do a project. No, that's not why. Projects are meant to bring change. They're meant to move your organization from a stale, stagnant state to a dynamic state, from a point A to a point Z, right? From a point A to a point Z, from a point B to a point X, whatever. That's why you do projects. So for you to think you should invest money and time and effort and not be trained is quite ridiculous. Don't let me stay on this soapbox for another 10 minutes, because I will. I can rant. Because I've seen all sorts of stupidness. Excuse my English, but it's stupidness. That's what it is. People saying project managers don't have to be trained. You're either good or you're not. You're either a natural born PM or you're not. It's ridiculous stuff. And I just look at these people and I wonder, which planet do you come from? Perhaps you shouldn't even go to school anymore. Just learn by watching the world. Don't even study. Don't do a master's degree. Nothing. So for you to say, oh, project managers shouldn't be trained, what a waste of money. I can't believe it. Some organizations have jumped ship when it comes to training their people, because I hear the lame excuse, oh, it's too expensive. So you'd rather hire Humpty Dumpty sitting on the wall to make a mess and the yogurt and bananas hit the fan than send people for training. Let people learn formal terms. You know, that continuity. How would you like it? I call it a plan. You call it a charter. I call it a PID, an initiation document. Someone else calls it an SOW. Isn't that confusion? That's confusion, folks. So don't be confused. Get with the program. Send your folks for training. Stop trying to cut corners and scrimp on training. Send people for training. Okay, how about this? You think you know it all? Train. But most of those folks don't know it all. They can't train, and they won't hire people like your buddy Phil that can train. You see, I just don't understand it. And then you have these clowns, technical, I call them technical wannabes, who think the project manager is a waste of time, overhead, figurehead. You're deceiving yourself. You're deceiving yourself. There's a difference between managing endeavors and performing endeavors. They're both different things. And if you think that multitasking, doing the management and the technical work is what everyone should do, you're wrong. Sometimes, yes, you should do the technical work and the management work, especially when it's small and it's lean but mean. Yes, I agree. But in a lot of other situations, you should hire a project manager. Why don't you want to hire PM? Or why do you think the PM is a waste of time? Because you've had bad experiences with PMs? I remember a PM, I'm a PM, and I remember taking a look at another particular PM while I was at US Airways, Jim. Phenomenal guy. He would knock stuff out. He was more of a program manager, though. And he would get stuff done. How? Through influence, through leadership, through understanding the tools of the trade, through understanding the business. You know, a lot of people don't think about what the PM actually does or what the program manager does. It's not just sending people schedules. Maybe you've met the wrong people. But that's not what the PM does. All right? So anyway, don't let me continue with this rant, because I will go on. There's a lot to rant about, a lot of stupidness in the world of, I don't know, business. Right? So organizations exist for a definite chief aim. And your definite chief aim as a company, your strategic business objective, can only be birthed by projects being run the right way. So doesn't it make sense to send your people for training, coaching, when it comes to managing projects? Because it is the projects that make the change. Take a look at companies that are just running on the operational level and they're not doing anything new. Things are exactly what they were 20, 30 years ago. Those companies are going to fold up eventually. They're going to be bought out. Take a look. Take a look around you. You have to be innovative, and part of being innovative involves projects, you know? Anyway, I've got other bits and pieces to do than address people who are mad at the PMI, but I'm happy that those of you who are on right now, you are in line with what I'm saying. You know, you've taken the time and effort to study up. I'm not even saying every human being that's a PM must be a PMP. That's not what I'm saying. You know, that's not what I'm saying at all. But anyway, I think I have to get off my soapbox here because I'm running out of power. So before I run out of power, I'm going to hop ship. And I'll look forward to speaking to you guys next week. Remember, hustle for your muscle, right? Hustle for your PMP muscle. Look forward to speaking to you guys again sometime soon. I'm sorry I have to dash. Bye for now. Bye, 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 bye.